Welcome to this fireside chat. My name is Vikram. I'm the Senior Director for Cyber Marketing at Allot. Joining me is Angel. He's our VP of Product for Cybersecurity. Welcome, Angel.
Thank you so much. A pleasure to be here with you.
Excellent. So the topic of our discussion today is network native security. Diving straight into it, Angel, what is network native security?
There are different ways to provide security for the mass market. When we talk of network native security, what we're describing is that security that is provided by the CSP together with the connectivity. So I, as an end user, I don't have to do anything else in order to benefit from security, but it comes to me as a clean pipe. So I'm not risking my access to the internet because the CSP is worrying about it.
That's a great point. Now, you already touched upon it, but just to maybe double click on the fact that what makes network native security different than a traditional security like an endpoint?
Traditional CSPs have offered security to the mass market by means of endpoints. So that means that I, as a user, will need to be installing the endpoint, configuring the endpoint. So that adds a lot of complexity to the process. On the other hand, I'm the one responsible for maintaining that, for updates. And it might even be the case that the device I'm using is not compatible with the endpoint. So in the end, I'm not protected for my particular case. As opposed to that, we have network native security. In this case, the CSP is taking full responsibility of protecting the data pipe, meaning that the traffic that gets to me is a clean traffic. And as such, I don't have to do anything. It's compatible with all the operating systems. So to me, it's a lot simpler approach as a user.
That makes a lot of sense. Specifically, even if I see myself as a user, I think it's a much simpler and more accessible piece of technology because it's removing all the barriers for me to access this. But to maybe continue, what are some of the other benefits you think about network native security for the CSP and for the end user?
Okay. I mean, the immediate or the most straightforward benefit for both of them is that this is something that can be activated in a zero touch, meaning that I, as an end user, I can benefit from security without me having to go through any complex process. And for the CSP, it's a click of the button to provide security to one, two, or millions of users. So as such, security becomes something that can be spread across a mass market, and therefore the adoption from the perspective of the CSP will be much higher than any other traditional security, and as such, my revenues will increase, my strategy will benefit from that, my churns will be reduced.
That's a very fair point. And just to back it up by pure data, it's a fact that whenever we see the deployment of network data security, in most cases we are seeing adoption numbers over 30%, in some cases as high as 50%, which is very hard to achieve, or I would say maybe a risk of calling it out that in most cases we haven't seen even a high single digit adoption when it comes to endpoint. So that's a very key differentiation. Now, this is all amazing, but what, according to you, is the future of network native security for the CSPs? Because, CSPs have been selling, at least offering security for many, many years. Network native security is relatively new for them. But what's in future for the CSPs with regards to network native security?
Okay. I mean, we see already some early adopters, CSPs, positioning security as one of the strategic pillars of their offering. Our understanding and our forecast is that this will become like the de facto standard, meaning that security will be offered as one of the pillars together with connectivity, bandwidth, and latency. Security will be the fourth pillar for any CSP worldwide. So they will embed that together with their offering of data. It's like when I'm buying water from my supply company. I'm not expecting only water, I'm expecting a clean water. So it will be exactly the same from CSPs. I'm not expecting to get only data, but clean data.
That's a very interesting point because, to be honest, in the world of 5G today, the claims of the yesteryears about my network is the fastest or it's the most coverage, everybody has it today. So I think security is a key differentiation in this industry. Now, just to continue on this thread and the last question on this topic, Angel, as a VP of product leading cybersecurity for Allot, we work with so many different CSPs globally. What recommendations would you have for the CSP leadership when they're evaluating security for their own audience or their own customer base in their country, the ones who have not launched cybersecurity or, let's say, any network native security?
Okay, I will recommend them to look at security from several different dimensions. First of all, to select a partner that is reliable, that can provide a security solution that is proven in the markets, in the different type of deployments, like in the case of Allot. Secondly, I would recommend them to find a way to tie security into their strategy, because it will be beneficial for them in the long-term view. And finally, to look for a security solution that is allowing them to cover the end-to-end experience for the end users. So not only to limit, for instance, on the mobile device, but if I am offering as well a fixed connection, what happened with that fixed connection? Using or offering a unified experience across all the different accesses that I have. So when you mix all these three dimensions, you select someone that can be your partner for security going forward in the long term.
That is excellent. Thank you so much, Angel. And I just want to close this by saying that from a lot standpoint, we offer a portfolio of security solutions for us. We are indifferent from the perspective of our own positioning. We have endpoint, we have network native security, but we want to make sure and we emphasize the value of this next generation solution, which is network native for CSPs. And Angel today pointed some great points. I hope those points that he made were useful, and it throws some light on the existing and the interesting topic of network native security. So thank you so much. And again, thanks so much for joining us today, Angel.
Thank you to you.